Average Woodsman here, back with another video. So today I wanted to go over a piece of gear that I got recently that I've only taken out a few times. So this is the Helikon Tex Bushcraft Satchel. It is from their Bushcraft line. I have only had it for a short period of time. This is maybe the 5th or 6th time I've taken it out. So this is definitely not going to be a long-term review. This is going to be more of a first impressions. I'll talk about what I like about it. Also, how I have it set up specifically, because it's really, the way I have it set up, I have a lot of gear in here, but it doesn't weigh a lot. It weighs less than 10 pounds or right around 10 pounds when I weighed it, the way that I have it set up. And also, one thing that I really like about it is, surprisingly, because I wasn't sure with the way it's designed, with it not having any padding on the strap and there's no padding on the actual satchel itself, I was wondering if it was going to be uncomfortable to carry, and it's not. It's actually really comfortable to carry as long as you don't have it loaded with too much gear, making it too heavy. Because even though it's not a massive bag, it is about 17 liters. So if you wanted to, you could really overload this and make it where it would be uncomfortable to carry, especially over long distances. If you're out hiking or you're out camping or something like that, you were doing a simple overnight in this, you could load this with too much gear and it would definitely be uncomfortable. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. All right, so this is the bag itself. It's made out of 500D Cordura. There is no, like I stated previously, there is no padding on the strap itself. But if you don't have this loaded to a crazy amount of weight, it doesn't really matter. It's still really comfortable to carry. So because this doesn't have any type of really thick padding on the back and it doesn't have any padding on the strap, this can be condensed down into a really small package, and you could throw this into a larger pack. So if, let's say you wanted something like you wanted to have something to carry your gear once you got to camp, once you packed all your gear in with your larger pack, set up your camp, and you wanted to have something that you could carry with you if you go out foraging, or if you're going out hunting, or if you just want to go out and explore the local area you're at, you could crunch this down into a small, ball, and you could stuff this into your pack, and then take this out, fill it with whatever gear you want to have for your scout, and then now you have something like this to carry with you. So you don't have to carry around your larger pack if you don't want to. So that's one thing I do like about it. And like I said, I don't have it with enough weight in it to actually matter. This thing weighs, I think when I weighed it, it was right around 10 pounds, like 10 pounds 1 ounce. The way I have it set up with a full bottle of water. So on the outside, it does have some MOLLE webbing. I actually like a little bit of MOLLE when it actually is functional. I don't like my entire backpack or any of my packs to be covered from head to toe in MOLLE. I don't particularly like it. First off, it looks ridiculous. It looks way too tactical, and I just don't use it. But a few small areas that have some MOLLE on it, I do think is useful. Like here, I have just an SOL whistle attached to the side of this. You can attach like something like a bedroll if you wanted to the bottom of this, or maybe like a sleeping mat. And it has it on both sides, a little bit of MOLLE attached to each side. One thing I do like about this is, and this is also harkens back to having a little bit of MOLLE on any type of a bag, is that I like to attach, just like for instance, like you can attach a Grimlock to it like this, and then I have my gloves, which I use constantly. That's why I have them on the outside, and then just some duct tape. I have some duct tape attached here, and like I said, I have a whistle. One thing I do also like about this is that one side on each side of these two pouches is actually sewn here. So it's an actual pouch. And then on the other side is a pass-through pouch. So technically, if you wanted to, you could throw, like for instance on here, I just have my Mora Classic #1, and then you could throw something like a hatchet, like a small carving hatchet, or a crafting axe or something like that through here if you wanted to, if you were going out, and it allows you to do that. So I think that's all honestly really cool and a good feature to the bag. So this has a pretty decent sized pocket in the front that goes all the way down to the bottom here. So I just have my Silky Pocket Boy. I have just a couple of Slim Jims in here for some snacks along the trail. Some bank line. I have my anchor battery and a cable. I have a tourniquet, and that's pretty much it for this specific pocket. And like I said, it's a pretty good sized pocket. You could fit way more gear in here. I just don't have a lot in here. There are only really two pockets in here. You have this front pocket, and then you have the main pocket, which is actually pretty large. So I have obviously my sniper's veil, which I always have with me all the time, everywhere I go in all my kits. I have a shamag. I love to carry a shamag too. They're super useful, and it's part of the 10Cs. I have a spare magazine for my CCW. I have this small little possibles pouch. It has all different types of items in it. I have a video on it if you want to see exactly what's in here. I have just my flint and steel kit. This is my nav kit. So my soon-to compass, my map cards. I have my Right in the Rain notepads, which has, you know, all the information all the notes that I've taken from all the classes that I've taken over the years, along with like my pace count, things like that. And then obviously a little Light My Fire ferro rod and a Sharpie and mechanical pencil. I have just a medical kit. This is for, you know, that's for trauma. There is some boo-boo stuff in there, but it's mainly a bleeding kit, because if I were to get injured out in the woods, that's what I'm worried about, is severe bleeding, punctures, arterial bleeding, things like that. I'm not worried about if I get a little cut on my finger. I can always just walk out and go home. I have my US poncho from Helikon Tex. And in here, you guys can see there's a pouch right here that I have loaded up with some gear. And then another cool thing is you can see there's a lot of room in here. So I'm able to fit all that into this area right in here. And then on each side, you have water bottle pockets. So on this one side, I have my stainless steel cup and bottle with my lid. And then on this side, I have my Grail Grail water bottle with the nesting cup. So you have a lot of space in here, and you have decent organization if that's something that's important to you. In this zipper pouch right here, I have a couple of chem lights. I have my rapid deploy Ridgeline. I have some additional bank line. A small little hygiene kit with just some, you know, baby wipes, some alcohol pads and things like that in it. I have my small little work sharp field sharpener. And then the last item in here is just a Bic lighter and an Exotech fire sleeve. That's really all that I have in this bag, but you can see you can actually add a lot to this. It has a lot of volume, a lot of room in here, and a decent organization without being too large, so you load this thing down and then it becomes uncomfortable. I think there's a balance with a piece of gear like this, where you want it to have enough room to put gear into so you can have the items you would need in an emergency if you were to get caught out that, or for a day hike if you wanted to throw some more food, maybe a camera, something like that in there that you're doing out there. Maybe you're bird watching, maybe you're just a hiker, and you want to have specific gear in there. So it gives you enough space, enough volume to put a decent amount of gear in it without having it be so big that it becomes uncomfortable. And you might as well just wear a regular pack that has better structural integrity and is going to have, you know, a waist strap or some sort of a panel in the back to make it more comfortable. So something like this, I think this hits that balance really well, and that's one thing that I like about it. It's small enough where I can load it with just enough gear to make it comfortable to carry as like a haversack or a satchel, but it's not too small where I can't have enough gear in here where if I wanted to, or even, God forbid, in an emergency, had to spend a couple nights out in the woods, I could do that and I would not be in danger of being, you know, in really bad shape because I have a decent amount of gear here for an emergency. All right, so that's it for the bag. Honestly, like I said, this is not a long-term review. This is more of a first impressions. One thing that I forgot to also add is this does have compression straps on the side. So if you wanted to really load this out, you could compress it down if that's something that you'd want to do. Remember too, with this kit, I also always have gear on me. So I'm always going to have, for instance, I'm always going to have a belt knife. I'm always going to have something like a flashlight, like this stream light. I really like to carry this one when I'm going lightweight and I'm doing like something, for instance, like a day hike, because it's rechargeable, so I can use my anchor battery. And if it's right on the brim of my hat, I can attach it right to the brim of my hat, and now I have a headlamp if necessary. And this is for something like an ultralight or a relatively ultralight day pack or day hike, or maybe like a scouting kit. This would work really well with in conjunction with the actual bag itself. And of course, I'm always going to have my firearm on me, and I'm also going to have other items on me like cordage and fire, things like that. But it's really is an excellent piece of gear to have, and I highly recommend it as of now. We'll see how the long term goes with this, but all the other Helikon Tex gear that I have packs, I have these pants that I'm wearing are Helikon Tex, I have their anorak, I have a bunch of their gear, and all of it so far has been really, really good, especially for the price. So I doubt that this is going to be any different, but I will do a long-term review down the road and let you guys know how it fares and how it holds up and if I still like it. But as of now, I definitely really like the kit. I think it's a really good piece of gear, and I would recommend it. So remember to like, subscribe, share these videos with your friends and family. Be safe, stay dangerous, and I'll catch you in the next one.